Welcome to the Michael Singer podcast, presented by Sounds True, in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information about Michael Singer's work, access to all prior episodes, and information about upcoming releases, we invite you to join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com.
Jagged, Drymastus. Okay, let's talk about love. People like love. It's one of the best things going around. Why do they like it? What is it? Where does it come from? How do you get it? How do you stop from losing it? That's a nice topic. Okay? As yogis and yoginis, you understand that you're taught that love is Shakti flowing through the fourth chakra. That's a true statement. But what good does that do? What does that mean? What you know of love is that sometimes you meet somebody and somehow you feel love. You just feel love. It's just beautiful energy comes up inside. It's amazing. And so to you, you say, I love you. That's what you say, very romantic. I love you. Eventually you'll catch on that not only is that not romantic, it's not the truth, and it's very dangerous. In fact, if you say, and I'm not telling you not to say it, don't listen to me, okay? I'll give the talk, and you forget everything I said. If you tell somebody you love them, you have pretty much signed the end of the relationship at some point. And I'll explain that to you. But I'm not telling you that you don't say I love you. I want to explain the deep teachings. Why is it that you meet somebody and they're your soulmate? You meet somebody and you just feel this love. Love at first sight or love after a little while. Right? You grow into it, whatever. The reason is not because that person is special. That person is just like any other person. Everyone's the same. But you are not the same. You have reasons that you don't feel love. You want to talk about reasons that you do feel love. I want to talk about reasons that you don't feel love. Because if you do feel love, then you're not going to be into this game that you need somebody to feel love, because you feel love. So my question isn't, why can't you find somebody that makes you feel love? That to me, at my stage of growth, sounds funny. Why can't I take a pill that makes me enlightened? Okay? You can have an experience. You can have different things, but you ain't getting enlightened. Okay? So why do you need a person to feel love? Why does it take somebody else? Why does it take something outside of you for you to feel what's inside of you? There, I asked you the question. Where do you feel love? In your hand? On the doorstep? On the doorknob? The car? You feel it inside yourself. You feel a place in your heart. You feel this love come up. So I'm challenging you. Why do you need something outside of you to feel something that's inside of you? That's, to me, very funny. And eventually you'll find out you don't. Okay? So what's the game? What's going on? What's going on is not that you don't have love. You have love. You have love so intoxicating inside of you that you could pass out, that anytime you ever want, just wave your hand across your heart and love comes pouring out. If you want to, just lay down and just melt into it all by yourself. That's who you are. That's what's going on in you. Excuse me, sir. That's not going on in me. So, explain that. You have blocked the flow of your Shakti. And because you've blocked it, it can't make it to the fourth chakra. It can't make it up here to where it feels like love, to where it's coming out like love. Say, oh, that's very different than say I have to find somebody. So how come, if that's true, that I blocked my energy flow so it can't freely go up to those levels? Why is it that I meet somebody or even think about meeting somebody? That's all it takes. And all of a sudden I feel love. Let's say you meet somebody and you feel love. Because the stuff that you blocked, that you use to block your energy flow, is very specific to you. You've had experiences in your life that were uncomfortable. Anywhere from uncomfortable to very difficult to traumatic, fine. You've had experiences in your life that were difficult to handle. What did you do with those experiences? It's funny to talk about, but let's be mature and talk about it. I resisted them. I did not want to have that experience. It was uncomfortable to me inside. It was caustic. It didn't feel good, and I didn't like it. So I did what? Well, I did any rational thing you would do. I pushed it away. Get away from me. I don't want to feel this. That is your blockage. That is why you don't feel love, because you did that. I'm not blaming you. Don't feel guilty. Okay? It's just you weren't able to handle the experience. And so what did you do with it? It happened outside, but then it came in, and I have a psyche inside, I have energy inside. And when it came in, it affected my emotions, it affected my thoughts, not in a good way. And I don't want to deal with that. And so I push it away. Freud called it suppression, repression, denial. I call it resistance. That's just a general term that says it didn't make it through you. And I'd like to point out, some of you have had experiences, rare, that made it all the way through you. You turned the corner when you were in a good mood and the sun was setting and it was so gorgeous. Magenta colors and the cloud. Oh my God. And it knocked you for a loop. And you felt something that you usually do not feel. And you tried to tell somebody about it. And you used these words. I felt like it touched the core of my being. I felt like I was in the presence of God. So nature can do that. A very close, intimate moment can do that. Not all the time and not for everybody, but it can do that, can't it? Where you're gone. I just melted into it. It went all, I want you to understand that most people, not a lot of people have these experiences. They should. It came in. I didn't block it. It was so beautiful. It took me into it. It wasn't me controlling it. It wasn't me accepting it. It wasn't me doing anything. It just washed over me. And it was just so beautiful that I melted into it. And like I said, it touched me to the core of my being. Anybody know what I'm talking about? A lot of us are too intellectual. We don't let that happen. A lot of us are too scared. We feel too vulnerable to let go at that level, because then you're not in control. But it is there, isn't it? So basically, that's what it means to let an outside experience come in to here and there be no resistance, so that it comes all the way through. Where does it go? It merges into the seat of consciousness and melts into the rest of the universe. That's what it's meant to do. It just comes in and passes through and feeds you to the depth of your being. It's a beautiful experience. But it's very rare. Why? Because we resist. Because we're scared, because we want control, because we're not comfortable letting things touch all the way back in there, because we're not there to control it. And so anywhere from, it's nice, but I ain't letting it touch that level. I'm telling you, I hate to say it, that's most people. Even in beautiful experiences, they stop it. Can you hear me? Do you realize you do that? You don't want to, but somehow it just triggers a loss of control that you're not willing to give. I want to ask, can anybody relate to that? Do you understand that? Do you see that? That's a nice experience. You do that. It's very rare it touches you that deep. Well, what about a not nice experience? It ain't going in there. I'll tell you that right now. Not a chance in the world it's going back there. The minute it starts to come in and its vibration is not comfortable to me, I'm pushing it away. Just like I would push it away outside if something's coming into me that I'm not comfortable with. And so you push it away inside. That is suppression. Freud, it depends on the level of damage it causes. He called it repression, denial, suppression. In yoga, we call it resistance. You resisted the flow of the energy. Not only did it not get all the way back there and merge and melt into your being, but it didn't even get past stage one. Okay, it ain't getting past this barrier. I don't want to feel it. I don't want it to have happened. Have you ever had things happen in your life you didn't want to happen? For you to not want them to have happened, they had to have happened. How's that for logic? So now what are you going to do? You can't make it not have happened. There's no way you can ever make it not have happened. So you either resist it or you accept it. And generally you resist it. You say, just because it happened outside, I don't have to let it touch me inside. I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you said that. I don't accept that. Well, okay, so what are you going to do with it? It got said. It got in through my ears. It made it into my mind and my heart. But that's as far as it's going, baby. And I don't think you could ever apologize enough for me to accept it. In other words, I have resisted that took place. Can you relate to that? I bet you can. Unfortunately, you can relate to that way more than you can relate to a touch of the core of my being. All right? Because we are used to protecting and controlling and all that stuff. When you do that, where do you think that energy went? It's energy outside. That's what the universe is, energy. Form moves outside. It comes in, and there's energy inside. You know that. Look how much damage it can cause. Look how much love it can affect your energy. All right? It's energy melting into your energy. If you resist it, you've created a blockage. And that's when I use the word blockage, that's a symbol what I'm talking about. You blocked the energy that came in from passing through. Where does it go? It gets stored inside. Now, I've asked you once before, how rational is it to take the situation that you dislike the most and store them inside of you for the rest of your life? I thought you were the highest species running around out there. That doesn't sound very healthy. And guess what? It's not. Okay? And so basically, that's what your blockages are. But they're not just psychological blockages. Nothing I've talked about now is not something that psychology doesn't deal with. That's what Freud talked about. That your relationship with your mother, relationship with this, your relationship with the different stuff from the past, especially what they call your formative years. That's when you blocked your stuff. You're trying to figure out what's going on and how do I, who are my friends and my enemies and where's mommy, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Who took my toy? And so you're trying to build something in there that's safe. And meanwhile, you push all this stuff away. And that's what they mean by formative years. You formed your self-concept. You formed the mental and emotional patterns that define you. They call them your personality. Let me get something straight. There's no such thing as a good personality. Why? Because it's fake. It's something you made up based on your past experiences. This is what I like, so I'm going to be like that. This is what I didn't like, I'll never be like that. And I won't like anybody that's like that. And like everybody's like what I like. You went to Hawaii? Really? How old were you? I went there at 15. Let's date. What are you kidding? They're mass murderers. Every experience you had that you liked, you want to have happen again or something to remind you of it or hang out with people that had that experience. They've had lots of experiences. That was just one that you can relate to. And that's the key, by the way. Because you held this stuff inside, especially the negative stuff, if somebody shows up outside that just hits it just right, like somehow they had trouble with their mother also, or their parents got divorced, or they also fell out of the tree and broke their arm when they were 7, and they had a cast, and everyone was signing it, all of a sudden you open. You open because this blockage that you stored inside has an opportunity to express itself a little bit in a positive way. It can express it in a negative way too, right? But in a positive way, there's a relationship between what you stored inside and what's going on outside. And all of a sudden, you like this person. You tell your friend, oh my God, they had the cash just like I did. And then a friend that signed it. Do you hear me? And you're getting all excited and it's all a big deal, not because of the person. Because of you. Because you have this stuff stored inside, it's blocking your energy flow. Now something has happened that lets it release more. Do you understand that? Okay? Like, yeah, we talked and our parents got divorced and it was so uncomfortable to me. And so they were the same. And we just held hands and cried. It was so beautiful. I never felt for years since I was young. When this all happened, I never felt that close and open. Isn't that romantic? No. It's not. If it's the best you can do, okay, don't throw it away. Go for it. You learn from everything. But you see why yoga didn't say that's romantic? You blocked your energy flow. Now something happens outside that helps to open you up. That's wonderful rather than being blocked by all means. But what's going to happen? You're going to find out that they were lying to you. They knew your parents. Talk to somebody and said, your parents got divorced. You're real sensitive about it. Tell her yours did too. You'll do real well with her. It doesn't ever turn out the way you think it's going to. Do you know that? It can't. That was one experience they had in their whole life. And one experience you had. You've had a ton more, haven't you? And they've had a ton more. And you just want to die into that. Oh my God. It's like two ships passing in the night. Yeah, there's a point where they pass. Okay, but boy, I don't. Why do you think relationships are so hard? That's why. Because what you call a relationship is a relationship with yourself. That person's like me. They're not like you. They've had totally different experiences their entire life. They can't possibly be like you. Psychology, I teach you this every time now. Psychology says man is the sum of his learned experiences. You ever heard that? It's not true. You are the consciousness watching the psyche, mind, and heart be the sum of your learned experiences. You're programmed by your past experiences. You like what happened before that made you feel good. You dislike what happened before it made you feel bad. And you devote your whole life to that. Okay? Running toward a past experience that you liked and running away from the past experience you didn't like. Can you relate to that? Do you understand that? You did not choose what you like and dislike. They were experiences you had that left impressions on you. And now you're trying to recreate the ones you liked and stay away from the ones you didn't like. That goes for people, places, and things. So basically, you start to catch on that you, the consciousness, is not the sum of your learned experiences. You're the awareness. But you are watching the psyche, the ego, that whole pattern in there, the mental and emotional patterns that you built based upon protecting yourself, clinging, holding on. Just you took different experiences and made a you. You took different experiences in your life and made up a you. Here I am. You like me? No, I can change. Okay. So basically, the reason you feel love when you meet somebody that matches that stuff, but only match one of them or two of them, you got a bunch in there. You hear me? Is because you open. That's called opening. The blockages start to release, like the lotus opens up and some of the energy releases. And if it's energy that's comfortable to you, safe, how do you get most intimate with somebody? I've never told anybody in my entire life what I'm about to tell you. It was just one of the most deep experiences I had, either negative or positive, by the way. You understand that? Doesn't matter. And I just haven't felt sharing it, but I feel close and open to you. I want to share this with you. Boy, that'll open you up. Why? Because you're releasing a blockage. You're releasing something that was stuck inside of you that's keeping your Shakti from flowing. And so as you express that and you feel the emotions and you feel the crying and somebody's willing to be there and listen to you, I'm not knocking it. Don't you dare think I'm knocking it. I just want to go higher. You mind? You're a very high being and you're taking crumbs. And so basically, yes, do that by all means. That's why therapy works. Because you get comfortable enough with your therapist and you say things that you never told before, and all of a sudden you feel better. Of course you feel better. You released a blockage. So believe me, I'm not knocking this stuff. You do whatever you can to raise yourself. But I want you to understand what's going on. So when you meet somebody and it helps release these blockages and you feel safe sharing stuff and so on and so forth, you open. And guess what happens when you open? You're not closed. And guess what happens when you're not closed? The Shakti flows. Flows where? It flows up. And at some point it hits the heart. And you start to feel this beautiful energy. And you say, I love you. Do you see why I say that? You don't love them. You love the experience of being open. Don't you? How do I know? Because all they have to do after listening to you and you're crying, and you find out they went to their friends and said, boy, he's messed up. I didn't hang out with him. How open are you now? How much love you feel? How hard is it for that heart to close? 1/1000th of a zillionth of a second. And bam, you feel it close, don't you? What you did was close the flow of the energy that had managed to open up and make it, I don't want to get into the chakras, but it's making it past the third chakra. What's the third chakra? The social animal. That whole thing of caring what other people think of you and how you behave, what you look like, just that whole gig of the human mess. And when that's in trouble, you're in trouble and you're trying to do things to make it feel better and so on and so forth. And if something should happen that helps it open, you feel safe, you feel good, somebody reminds you of something. My God, there are people that fall in love with people because their eyeglasses look like their sisters and they loved your sister and they died and oh my God, can I spend some time with you? It doesn't take much, does it? All it has to do is open a little bit, and all of a sudden, this love comes. And like I said, you say, I love you, which is fine. By all means, say it. It's very nice. But what you mean is, I love this flow of energy that's flowing inside of me in your presence. That's a nice way to say it. But they won't like when you say that, okay? If they say to you, oh, I love you so much, you say, oh, well, I love the flow of energy I feel inside whenever whenever in your presence. But that's the truth, right? Why? Because the minute they do something, you don't feel the energy. I'm done. I don't need this. I don't have one life to live, and I hang out with somebody I don't feel love. Laugh all you want. We're having a serious talk about love, aren't we? It's not what the poets say. It's what the yogis say. And so basically, if you release the blockages for whatever reason, energy will flow and you will feel love. Let me ask you a question. We're talking now about love for another human, okay? Have you ever felt love for an animal? True love. They'll tell you can't feel love for an animal like you feel for a human. What are you, crazy? You can feel love for a car. If you're into cars and all of a sudden, a classic Mustang shows up that's in mint condition or a Ferrari or something like that, you can just stand there intoxicated. Can you feel love for music? Can music open you? Can you change your entire mood? Can you just sit there and become intoxicated in some music? See, it's not about a person. It's about opening. If something opens you. I mean, paintings, a beautiful Monet or a Renoir, whatever you're into. They have those little seats in the Museum of Art. They have seats where you can sit down and go into ecstasy staring at a painting. A kid walks in, I saw that one. No, not everybody does that. They sit there for hours before Monet's lily pond or something, and they just melt. You melt. And music certainly does that, all right? It's like, my God, there's beautiful pieces been written. All of you have different taste, right? But it's some really beautiful stuff. Beethoven's Fifth, right? Oh my God, just 2 notes and you could melt. Da 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 da. Right? It's just all of a sudden, bam! If you're into that, it just changes everything. You'd pay anything to go hear a great orchestra play something like that. So I'm not just talking about loving a person. I'm talking about love. Nice conversation, right? What is love? It is the Shakti flowing through your heart. What makes it happen? In order to ask what makes it happen, you have to ask, why isn't it happening? It isn't happening because you've blocked yourself. And some music that might open me closes you. Oh, that was the music they were playing when my boyfriend left me in high school. I hate that song. I hate that. I hate Beethoven. I hate all of it. Have I exaggerated? Now you understand what's going on, and that's very important. I've done my job. If you understand what's actually going on instead of just the surface of things and run around with that, because it doesn't last, does it? Okay? That's why. That's why you have to do drugs. That's why you have to drink. That's why you have to go find some people. That's why you have to try to make it happen. But you're trying to make it happen outside instead of understanding you're the one who blocked yourself. That's a nice thing to realize. My God, I'm in charge. I did it. You blocked the flow of your energy. Why? I couldn't handle the situations that happened to me, and so I pushed them down there. Now, I have an obligation, those are called samskaras in yoga. These things that you stored inside that still have energy, they still have emotions, don't they? When they come up, you feel the same thing you felt before. It's like a package of energy that you packaged the experience and pushed it down out of your consciousness into where? Subconscious. This is a word. It's not in my conscious. I pushed it away. Where? We'll call it a subconscious. Right? Just the name of where you stored your stuff. Like a little closet down there. Dark one. Right? But what about positive experiences? I don't like this conversation, but I'm obliged. Can positive experiences screw you up? Yes. Why? They're positive. Because you want them to happen again. You want them to happen again. And you want them to happen exactly what happened last time. So that first kiss is really special when you're open, right? But somehow didn't feel the same after a week or two of kissing. And then you wonder, does he really love me? I don't know. Of course, it doesn't have the same impact. It had surprise to it. It was new. You didn't expect it. Now you're waiting for it to feel the same again. Go to a restaurant, have a wonderful dinner with a great waitress or waiter, and the special was exactly what you like, the type of diet you're on, and there was nobody smoking in there, and it wasn't noisy, and they're playing exactly the music. Oh my God, it was like God restaurant. don't go back. I have advice for you. Do not go back, and don't tell your friends about it, and don't take them with you when you go back, because it ain't going to work. Because it's going to be a different chef, different specials, different people, different music. Do you understand that? You want something you like to happen exactly again and have the same impact on you. That's why positive experiences can be a problem. Go on a vacation to Hawaii. Perfect temperature, perfect weather, wonderful hotel, motel, whatever, right? I'm telling you, it ain't going to happen again. Not like that. It'll be the wrong season. They'll have floods, lava, okay? All kinds of things going on in Hawaii. Don't you dare paint it all nice. And you go back there and tell me about it. There are roaches sometimes in the nice hotels, right? Just have one other experience, and all of a sudden it's not going to do the same thing to you, is it? Because you store positive as well as negative. You push away the negative experiences, you store them, you cling, that's a Buddhist term, you cling to the positive experiences, and then you mess up your life by wanting it to happen again. So you can't have another experience. It has to match this one. I'm not trying to take away your positive experiences. I told you, just forget everything I'm saying. But somewhere deep inside, you're going to grow into this. You're going to realize this is all about the Shakti flow. This isn't about the restaurant. This isn't about the relationship. This is about opening, being open. What if you went back to the restaurant? You want to know if you're a yogi? You go back to the restaurant and everything's different and you love the difference. Oh my God, this is neat. It's not like anything last time. This is so exciting. And every moment is new and every bit opens you up. And to a great master, every bit opens you up to where it all touches the core of your being. Can you imagine living at that state? If some people say, he can't hold his liquor. Can you hold your Shakti? No, a great master, literally, every bit is coming all the way in and touching the core of their being. That's a really great master. Not all great. I'm talking really great master, right? It all comes in. It just comes in, and they let it completely pour over their being. Okay? And Christ was that. You can watch his words. Forgive them, Lord, they don't know what they do. It sits on the mount. It sees what's going to happen to him. He's got some humanness in there. And he said, this is not going to be fun. And then immediately when he asked to pass the cup, what did he say? Not my will, but thy will. And never opened his mouth again. And just went through the entire experience with surrender and openness, letting it all touch the core of his being. So that is where an enlightened being, a fully open being lives. All of it, the fact that it exists, touches you. Okay? So meantime, we're not there. So we cling to the positive things and try to make them happen again. And we push away the negative things and try to make sure they don't happen again. That's called struggling. You're struggling to make it happen again, to make it not happen again. And you're judging everything and your thoughts. What if you think that a negative thing might happen? It's called worrying. You do that, don't you? How does it feel? Yicky. You feel fear. It didn't happen, but it might. I'm trying to show you how crazy it is the way we live, okay? And you don't think it's crazy. You think, oh my God, I'll be messed up if that happens. I better make sure it doesn't happen. Holy mackerel. It might as well have happened. You're messed up. So basically, those are your blockages. That's what this is all about. Doesn't seem like a talk about love. Don't feel so much love, do you? But it's a talk about love. That's how you've blocked yourself. You blocked your heart. It's afraid to open. This condition is exactly right. And then bam, it closes. That's because you blocked all this stuff. And then you end up with these preferences. This is what I want, and this is what I don't want. And it's all based on your blockages. It's not true that you have preferences. You're programmed based on your past experiences, and you got lost in that, thinking the only way I can be happy if I get the corner office. I'm going to be happy if I have $7 million to retire. I'm going to be happy if all my friends love me and I have a lot of likes on Facebook. You did that. You did that. You got programmed by something. What you've done with every single thing you like and don't like is limited the things that can make you happy. How many things are going on right now all over the place? 800 billion zillion. How many things do you want to happen? 4. How many people do you hope love you? 1. There's 8.5 billion of them. No, 1. You hear me? That's because you blocked yourself and you want the same thing to happen again or not happen again, and now you're out there struggling with life to try to make it be what your inside blockages say would make you okay, and not be what your inside blockages tell you that will make you not happy. And that's no way to live. And I don't want you to live that way, because there's no happiness in that. There's only struggle. You struggle to make it be the way you want it to be. How often is it the way you want it to be? Ha ha, don't even answer me. The weather bothers you, the car in front of you bothers you, this bothers you, that bothers you, I bother you, probably. Okay? It's like, give me a break. It's not the way you want. If it was the way you want, you'd be in ecstasy. But you know it's not, and you know it's not good by itself, so you have to struggle. You have to worry, you have to work. What does the Bible say? You fell from the garden, now you must work by the sweat of your brow to be okay. Know anything about that? Every minute, every second, you have to manipulate. This is about love. Doesn't sound like it. It is about love. It's not about how to find love. It's about why you don't feel love, which is a much deeper thing. If you get rid of why you don't feel love, then love is wonderful. It's like sunshine. It's there all the time. All the time. I want you to feel love all the time. Hey, like that. What if somebody doesn't like me? Love them anyways. That's Christ's teaching, isn't it? Love thy neighbor as thyself. Love thine enemy. How could he say that? Because he wasn't blocked. It's not something you're supposed to do. It's something you're capable of feeling and experiencing. It's a natural state if you're not blocked. So everything doesn't come down to finding God and doing this and behaving and wearing white all the time and never swearing. It's no. It's about, are you blocked? How many blockages do you have? How open are you? How open are you capable of being? How many things open you? The less blocked you are, the more things that open you. You hear birds. There's some people that don't know there are birds singing in the morning. And there are some people that go into ecstasy because they hear and just their heart just bursts open. How would you like that? Everything does it. Like we have a lot of little critters out here. Raccoons, armadillos, possums, they are all over the place at night. You better watch where you're driving, right? Some people don't like them. Oh my God, what's that? Something. You look at the little cute little things, so the little babies run after them, right? And all of a sudden, everything's making you melt. Why? Because you're open. Because you're not so closed. So love is about being open. It's not about finding something that can open you, although that's fine. Learn how to be open, okay? Let's say you find something that will open you. I like it. Don't renounce it. Find something that will open you. Then watch why it closes. God, I love you so much. I love being with you. And now you have to go to work. I have to go to work. See why you don't stay open. Why don't you stay open at work? You're going to start to see what a mess it is in there. And that's why it doesn't feel love all the time. And so love is about getting rid of the blockages. There, that's what love is. Love's about getting rid of the blockages. You get rid of those blockages and don't put any more in, wait till you see what happens. You'll just start feeling a natural flow of love spontaneously. Everything will start to hit you. Everything will start, life itself, you start to look at things and say, like I teach you, I'm sending a little planet in the middle of nowhere. Well, that's beautiful. That's like, wow, Earth is God's idea of Disney World. Look at all the things that are going on. Nothing on Mars, nothing on Saturn, nothing anywhere that we've seen anything. And here was the last time we saw nothing. No colors, no shape, no sound, no sight, nothing. Like, you got it made. You won the lottery 7 billion times over. But you don't feel it, do you? Because you only feel it when things are the way you want them to be, and you never feel it the way you don't want them to be. And you program that inside of you by not handling the experiences of your life. So what do I need to do? You need to learn to let go. That's how you find love. That's how you find love. You find love by letting go of yourself, not by finding something that matches your personal silly self. Okay? That's just limiting it. So how do you let go of yourself? There we get to talk. Isn't it funny? Doesn't sound like to talk about love, does it? It's intense stuff. Yep. Love's a real thing. And there's some work you got to do if you want to feel love all the time. I want you to feel love all the time. I want you to wake up in the morning and say, wow, I'm back. Wow, this is so neat. I want you to go to work. Oh boy, I get to play. Work is play. It's just you're playing. Play with computers, play with selling things, play with paper. Oh boy, I get to sort the paper. Whatever. You're just doing something. What the heck's the difference? This little planet doing something. Have fun. That's how you have fun. You don't have fun if things have to be the way you want them to be. That's not fun. The minute you stop having a way you want them to be and you learn to be open, you will feel the Shakti flow. I'm telling you, people right from all over the world, I've never felt this before. All of a sudden, there's all this energy inside of me. And then they say, then they'll write back years later, right? I thought I was doing so good. Now I don't know. I was struggling so much. That's right. Because if you're open, you let stuff come up that you wouldn't let come up before. And so you learn to let it go. You just learn to cleanse. It's so-called cleansing. You're opening up. How do you do that? Let's get right down when the tires hit the road. Once you understand what I'm talking about, you're going to want to do it. You don't want to be closed and then struggle to find things outside that periodically open you conditionally. That is not a very high life. It's very stressful, very worrisome, and it's conditional. All of a sudden, somebody else is in charge of your heart. Okay? Somebody else, what they do, they had a bad day. They come home, you're screwed up. No, they had a bad day. Feel sorry for them and have fun. You live in there. You want to be nice in there? Make it nice in there. Do the work. So how do you do the work? It's hard to do, but it's easy to understand. You sit there and say, do I close? Here's your exam. Do I close? And don't answer. I want you to watch. I want you to just go through a day. Don't change anything. Just go through a day and watch. Does she close? You're watching. Watch the heart. Watch the mind. Does it close? And you are going to freak out. You know what you're going to write me? I was okay before I read your book. Now it's worse than it ever was. No, you're just paying attention. It's not worse than it ever was. You're just noticing what a mess it is in there and how often it closes and how conditional it is and how much everything can bother it. Like the fact that the sun is hot bothers it. The fact that the driver in front of you is driving too slow, not using a blinker, stepping on the brake all the time, bothers you, doesn't it? The fact that there's a train when you're in a rush, traffic, red lights. If I listed all these things in your everyday life, you can find out you close over everything. Don't you? You protect yourself, you close, you don't like it. A lot of times, I don't like this, I don't like that to happen. All right, then you close. Anything you don't like, you're going to push away and close. And every time you close, you're saying, goodbye, love. Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye, happiness. You hear me? You're blocking yourself. And you don't realize, you think these things don't matter. They matter. If it's hot out, you tell, oh, it was so hot, I couldn't do anything. Oh my God, I was sweating. I didn't like it at all. And I don't want to live in Florida. You just closed. You just took the weather, which you have no control over, and said, I'm going to trade off love for not liking the weather. Nice trade. You don't do that. You sit there and say, I'm feeling love. Good, it's hot. Look, there's a beautiful sun up there, 93. So I do. 93 million miles away. How far away is Miami? 360, 93 million. And it's so hot, you should be marveling. How could something 93 million miles away be that hot? Have fun with it. Set Miami on fire, okay? And you won't feel a thing up here. Not one single thing will not change one fraction of a degree. That thing's 93 million miles away, and it's shining on you, and it's that hot. You can get high on it. Bliss out on it. I do. When I get out of the car, if it's that hot, just go, wow, man, this is far. I've told you many times, you do not get sunburned. You get starburned. That's a star. Who doesn't like stars? That's how you work with yourself. This is how you change your entire attitude, how you learn not to put more blockages in there and to let the blockages go. Yes, is it positive thinking? Sure, fine. Use positive thinking. Is it surrender? Is it openness? Is it devotion to God? I don't care what you call it. It's not you. It's not what you're doing every day of your life to block yourself and to put more blockages in there. And so you learn to work with yourself, to raise yourself. Don't just sit in there and let it be negative. Don't sit in there and store more stuff in there. Just raise yourself. You're in there. You have the right to raise yourself. Let's say somebody says something you don't like. Well, you have a couple of choices. One, don't like them. Two, accept that people are different. Three, love the feeling that you get to cleanse that somebody doesn't like you. Which level you want to live at? I know where I'm living. Take every single thing that happens to you and use it to get rid of the stuff you stored in there. Situations will unfold in life. Honor them, respect them, do your best to not store them inside. Just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What if I can't? Well, then see what it looks like to store that stuff. See what it looks like to have somebody who was a friend of yours say something because they were in a bad mood one day and then walk away. And you got this yicky feeling inside and all the noise. I thought they were my friend. And was the thing, oh my God, what am I going to do? And talk to other people about how bad she was and this and that. Now what happens when you see them the next day or 2 days later? You don't want to see them. You may literally walk around the block so you don't have to see that person. Ever done it? You made a mess of yourself because you couldn't handle the situation. Spiritual growth is saying, I can handle this. So if somebody had a bad mood and they said something not nice, I don't care. I'm not going to say anything bad against the person. They had a bad day, bad hair day, bad mind day, bad heart day. Who knows? It's none of my business. That's compassion. You're able to handle other people's issues and so on. Then the next time you see the person, you don't even have to say, why'd you say that to me? No, it doesn't even dawn on you. It went through. Now you're a very great being. Would you like to be like that? Not only is it nice for you, it's nice for them, right? Apologize. Give me a break. What does apologize mean? I couldn't handle what you did, so I stored it inside, and if you don't want it inside of me, you better try to get it out. Isn't that when you tell a person to apologize? They're supposed to figure out how to not have you store that inside of you. I didn't really mean it. No, I would never say it again. Don't worry. I'm so sorry. A little more. Okay? What if you just love being alive and you love the experiences you're having and they're positive, they're negative, they feel good, they feel bad, and they're over. Be here now. That's what be here now means. They made it through. You don't have to make believe you're being here now. I'm not here now because that's bothering me, but I'll try to be here now. Okay? If you just let the experience make it through you without resisting it, without clinging to it, it's just one experience in life. There's 800 billion zillion other experiences going on at the same time. This happens to be one you're having. Honor it, respect it, worship it. I don't care what you do, but don't suppress it. Don't cling to it. Don't hold on to it. Right? You practice that. How do you do it? This is called your sadhana. This is something you do every single minute of your life. People say, I don't teach meditation. I don't teach meditation. I teach what to do when you're not meditating. That's how I blanket. My master taught meditate all the time, right? Right? But I get to hang out with him and be okay, right? If I sit there and say, I'm not trying to teach meditation. Somebody has to teach you what to do when you're not meditating. That's what this is. This is your spiritual path when you're not meditating. And I guarantee you, if you do this and you let go, your meditation will be spontaneous. You'll be watching TV, and all of a sudden, all this Shakti comes pouring up inside. The minute your mind gets slightly interested in anything, so that it's not all caught in itself, everything opens up, all the way top. Everything, Shakti just pours through your being. You sit there intoxicated for hours. I don't know if it's meditation because the TV's on, but that's where I want you. I don't want you to figure out how to get high. I want you to be high all the time. But you can't do that if it's all based on your blockages. It's going to be conditional well-being. I want it to be present all the time. And the only way that's happening is you let go of the stuff that you stored in there. That's the only way the Shakti is going to flow pure all the time, is you stop taking the reason that she's not doing that. Your natural state is the highest thing ever walked the face of the earth. You're a beautiful being, but you're doing this personality thing with this garbage you stored inside. So what do? I teach you living untethered, gets into it at this level. You sit there and say, okay, I can't let go of everything at once. Believe me, you can't let go of everything at once. All right? You stored it in there because you didn't like it, then it starts to come back up. You're going to want to push it back down. So you start by saying, I'm going to handle today. That's what I want for you. Here's your sadhana. You wake up in the morning, and you're inspired by this talk, and you say, I don't care about anything else. I'm going to handle the situations that happen today. They're going to come in, and I'm going to respect them and honor them. and offer them to God or let them go. Or if I catch myself starting to push it down, I'm going to let go. That's what letting go means. Letting go is not outside. Letting go is inside. I'll feel the tendency to protect, and I'll relax and release. I'll breathe, relax and release. You know what relax and release is? R&R. Ever heard of R&R? Rest and relaxation? Okay, vacation. This is your vacation from yourself. You just relax and let go. Don't think about it. Just relax and let go. Don't let the next moment be, but don't hold it inside. Okay? You're not going to be able to do that in one day, not 1 hour. Wait till you see how sick you are. You're going to resist and fight and not like and make feel, oh my God, it's cue the button. So what do? You do your best to remember to let go. And then at night, you stop for a minute. You can still do your meditation, whatever you do, and see, is there stuff still in here from today? The boss, the this, the that, what somebody said, what somebody didn't say. Is there something in here that I carried with me? Now let it go. To use as an opportunity to just be positive about it, whatever. One thing you do is sit there and say, I don't care what it was. I don't want it in me. I don't want garbage in me. If I ate some food and it made me sick, I don't want to keep it. What do I keep it for? To remember how bad it was. No. And just offer to let it go. Start doing that work of raising yourself, of letting go. And what you're going to find if you do that you'll do better the next day. Because you're not the same person when you wake up in the morning because you let go of some stuff and you didn't store more. I don't care if it's baby steps. I don't care. It doesn't impress me. I mean, it's fine. You can do it. When people come, oh, I had this vision and it was amazing. I saw Christ and Buddha and showers of angels were coming down when, 3 years ago. Okay, good. I'm glad you had that. I'm more interested in saying something happened today and I realized when I went home, that used to bother me. It didn't even think about it. It went through. You're growing. That's spirituality. That means something to me, that you handle something that you couldn't before because you grew. Okay? So you let go. And what's going to happen is if you do this and you don't put more in there today or tomorrow, stuff's going to start coming up. Because that is a LIFO stack for those of you who know inventory. All right? It's last in, first out. You shove the stuff down there, that's what you think about right now. That's what you dream about, that's what you think about. But if you don't shove stuff down there, then the stuff that was down there from before starts to come back up because you didn't put stuff on top of it. And you want that to happen. You want it to come back up. But it feels yicky. Of course it feels yicky. You stored yicky. You stored it because you couldn't handle it. But you were 5. You were 10. It was 3 weeks ago. Let it go now. Can you handle it now? And the answer should be obvious. Of course you can handle what happened to you when you're 5. It's not ever going to happen again. You don't have to worry about it. So why are you just keeping it in there? Because it hurts to come up. Can you handle it? Always, can you handle it? Can you handle it? How? Relax and release. But it hurts. Of course it hurts. It was stored with pain. You stored the pain down there. How can it not be pain when it comes back up? But you welcome it. I always use the example of childbirth. I hear it's really painful. I know some women that had children, all right? And they tell you, oh my God, right? And they go back for seconds and thirds. How come? Because they want it. But you want this. This is called soul birth. You want to go through this. Believe me. And the more you're willing to go through it, the easier it is because you get used to it. You're used to, okay, fine, I'm cleansing. Having a bad heart day. Stuff's coming up from before that I didn't want to think about, but I don't want it down there. You choose. You have a choice. Keep it down there and let it screw up your entire life, or go through what it's like to let it go. All right? And people say to me, well, do I have to find out what it is that put it down there and then figure it all out? You can. That's like psychology, but you don't have to. What you have to do, if it comes up, is let it go. If you can let it go, if you can let the discomfort make it through you, it doesn't matter what put it in there, it's gone. And not only will that be gone, but all the other things that were that level of discomfort, you now know how to deal with that. And what do you see? They start just going through and you don't even bother. No, it doesn't matter. It's nothing. Okay? If you're allergic to a food, and every time you eat it, you get sick, what happens when you cease to be allergic to it? You're fine. If you learn to handle these situations that are uncomfortable, both on a daily basis and a long-term basis, you're going to start feeling Shakti. I guarantee you. You have to go somewhere to climb the Himalayas and get Shakti pot. Shh, I didn't say that. Okay? It will come up inside of you. It's natural. If you open and release, the Shakti will come up. She wants to come up. She's pushing. In fact, it is Shakti pushing up that's pushing that garbage into your mind and your heart. It's trying to purify. Just like your body. Does your body have an immune system? Does it raise temperature and put out white blood cells and do all kinds of things to try and purify the body? Well, guess what? Your spiritual body, your astral body, and emotional body, and mental body are way higher than your physical body. They also have a cleansing system. The heart doesn't want that junk on top of it. The heart's beautiful. It doesn't want that junk on top of it. So it's pushing up, and then it's hitting your mind, and all this garbage is coming up. If you let the Shakti push up and welcome her, this is where all Shakti worship comes from, right? You welcome her. Come on up. I want you. Push. I don't care. Helter-skelter, come what may. Cleanse me. Your job is to relax and release. Let her do her job. And you're going to find out there really is Shakti. It really is a thing, right? It's divine spirit inside of you, God's energy. And it's what you're meant to be. That's the garden. You're meant to be feeling this flowing all the time, but you've blocked it. And now she wants out. She wants to push up. Welcome her. Now we're going really deep about how to do this, right? And what's going to happen. You'll feel love will be a joke. Love is fourth chakra. In fact, the fourth chakra is broken into two parts, in my experience. First is the lower half of the fourth chakra. That's personal love. It made it past your third personal junk. You feel safe. You feel this beautiful love, okay? But there's a middle part. It's called piercing. Roberts used to call it piercing the fourth chakra. And you'll feel the energy hit, and it's white hot, and you go through all this stuff, and it pops to the other side. And now it's not human love, it's devotion. You just feel all this beautiful flow of God energy. By the way, that's the fourth chakra. There are 7 of them. How great are you? How beautiful is life that it's teaching you how to cleanse and not put that stuff down there. Spiritual path is beautiful. And the more you grow, the more you let go. So eventually you get to the point where that's what your life is. Now your life is to try and get what your stuff wants you to get and avoid what your stuff wants you to avoid. That's the personal life. Now you're not like that at all. Now you're about the Shakti ones. She'll flow stronger in one area and not in the other. You just go with her. You talk about love. Believe me, you love the Shakti. How do you feel about ecstasy? How do you feel about melting to the core of your being? How do you feel about experiencing the presence of God all the time? That's Shakti. That's what happens when you let go of the blockages. The ego melts. All right. Now you understand love a little better? I hope so. And I said, forget everything I said. Just go out there and do your thing of trying to find conditional love and conditional well-being. But you remember there's such a thing as unconditional love and unconditional well-being. And who's in charge of that? You. But you'll get a lot of help. When you become sincere about that purification, every master that ever lived will do everything they can to help you. If you say, how do I find my guru? Let them find you. Because your sincerity. Jagradif.
You've been listening to the Michael Singer Podcast, produced by Sounds True in partnership with Shanti Publications. For more information on Michael's body of work and all back episodes, please join us at michaelsingerpodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening. Sounds True, waking up the world.